Gold stocks LGC 218 contracts.
The S&P 500 hits an intraday record high.
Order filled. Order filled.
A record high.
All right, good morning in YouTube land. Let me know if you can hear me, please. I'm thinking TRS just put that in. Someone else let me know if you can hear me, please, before I get started here. Anybody out there? So I have to check myself. All right, I'll be back in a minute. Someone else let me know if you can hear me, please. I can hear myself. I'll be back in 1 minute, guys. After the disclaimer stuff. Thank you, Cherie, whoever you are.
Risk disclosure statement. There is a risk of loss in trading stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, derivatives, options, forex, and cryptocurrencies. This risk can be substantial, and therefore investors should carefully consider their financial suitability prior to trading. Past performance is not indicative of future performance. The software, strategies, chat rooms, websites, and any associated websites or digital venues are for educational purposes only and should not be construed as an express or implied promise or guarantee that you will profit or that losses may be limited in any manner whatsoever. Users of the information accept sole responsibility for the outcomes of their deployment and wholesale Trader, LLC, and any associated companies, agents, management, owners, and customers harmless without reservation. Please trade responsibly. Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC, Rule 4.41, hypothetical and simulated trading performance results have certain inherent limitations, some of which are described herein. No representation is being made that any accountable or is likely to achieve profits or losses similar to those shown. In fact, there are frequently sharp differences between hypothetical or simulated performance results and the actual results subsequently achieved by any particular trading program. One of the limitations of hypothetical performance results is that they are generally prepared with the benefit of hindsight. In addition, hypothetical trading does not involve financial risk, and no hypothetical trading record can completely account for the impact of financial risk in actual trading. For example, the ability to withstand losses or adhere to a particular trading program in spite of trading losses are material points which can also adversely affect actual trading results. Because these trades have not actually been executed, the hypothetical results may have under or overcompensated for the impact, if any, of certain market factors such as lack of liquidity. There are numerous other factors related to the markets in general or to the implementation of any specific trading program which cannot be fully accounted for in simulated trading or in the preparation of hypothetical performance results and all of which can adversely affect actual trading results.
This trade room and its webinars are not intended to mirror my trades or to give specific trade recommendations. Analysis of setups I share trades and potential trades that I'm taking for myself based on my personal analysis. The goal of this room is to teach traders how to identify specific areas to trade with an edge for themselves, but ultimately the decision is yours. Trading is extremely risky, and if you do decide to follow my personal trades, you do so at your own risk and could potentially lose your entire account and even more. I'm not always profitable and have routine drawdowns on my trading accounts. The spreadsheet you have access to is my personal spreadsheet that I use to enter zone values and ATR values that help me pinpoint exact prices for my trades. You can see when I enter zone prices into the master spreadsheet as well as the prices to enter trades whether you want to go long or short. You have the ability to copy the spreadsheet and enter in your own values and use mine to confirm zone prices until you're able to draw the zones correctly yourself. The spreadsheet is not telling you which direction to trade as it has entry prices and stop prices for both long and short positions depending on which way you personally decide to trade. All right, good morning. We'll get back to this in a second. I'm currently short gold here. We'll go over the trade, but there's a new event, and I'm trailing my stop to that. But I was short off of the sell ice event. I'll go over the strategies here, but the way I trail my stops is based on something that's happening in the market, a new event, sell stops. This might have been in Sexy Gexy 2, one of the new trade. No, not yet, but we're going to keep an eye on these. We'll go over these two. These are the Gex levels on month through Q. We'll go over all this stuff, but meantime, I'm trailing my stop here. I'm short, and then I will actually stop out and flip long if this area holds. This would be another trading strategy that we'll go over. This is a pick, potentially. You can see here at the bottom of this market profile composite. Volume event. So this is how I trade, right? I have my important areas that I look at for events and real-time events. That's the most important thing that can be happening. You know, lines in areas are one thing, but you want to see actual events, stop iceberg events in those areas. Stop iceberg events are the best edge that I've seen in my career as a futures trader, so that's what I look for in these areas to tell me, to give me the signals to trade or not trade, and we have specific rules around these events. So that is a sell stop run, usually a dumb money puke. It's not usually, it's usually the retail trader. So most of the time, more often than not, it's not initiative selling. It's just guys puking out positions. So usually you will get some kind of response. We do have that's called the dumb and dumber, right? The dumb money puke, retail trader. I'm a retail trader too.
Entered.
Don't take offense. But the point is, it's not, most of the time, it's not initiative selling by, bigger entities. We do have a version of this where if it holds, that the big money's coming in and behind it, then we'll trade to the downside. That's called the stop and hold. So right now, I don't know what this is yet. Hopefully it continues lower because I am short.
German Finance Minister
I will
Kuki
stop on my
says the
shorts
decision on
and
whether
flip long
Germany
here.
takes the
I did get
4
out
or
of a couple
7
of my
year debt
shorts at the
reduction
bottom of the
path
market
will be
profile
for the next
composite.
government to make.
Turn this thing down a little bit, sorry. That's my squat box. I did get out of some in this area. I had 8 on and I got out of 2. So let's see if this can continue lower. And then I can actually add to this trade potentially if this turns bearish, this event. And the way I determine that is if the market could push an ATR out of the event, which it's trying to do right now. So we'll keep an eye on that. That's gold. Let's see what's going on in equities. I wonder if they're ripping up to new highs as usual. Hey, what do you know? All right, so this was number came out. This activity came in. We'll get some of this stuff off the chart here. We'll go over this stuff later. But you had a couple sell stop runs here. This was actually before the number. I did not combine these, but I don't really see anything for what I look at to take a long off of these guys. You can see we're just sitting here at highs. What I am watching here, so there's nothing for me to short if those were bearish events, except for Bark and Lick. We'll go over that. But as far as structure is concerned, this is still bullish. I mean, this thing just keeps going up and up and up and up. What I will be on the lookout for is if this little balance from yesterday, today breaks and gets through this high volume node of this balance, and then we have trades for that called the failed balance breakout and the breaking bad. So failed balance breakout would be this dude failing, right? Best trade in trading, the failed balance breakout, and then also what we call breaking bad, and I'll go over all these in the document, where you have current balance breakout or breakdown in this case through the high volume node of prior balance. Those are great trades as well. So that's actually one of the trades I took here, and this is how I got short gold. Oops, didn't want to do that. Good old Thinkorswim. Nothing beats Thinkorswim. So this is the same trade I took in gold, right? I took a short. That hasn't happened yet in NASDAQ, but I'm watching for that. So you had balance here. You had yesterday's balance. Broke down through the high volume node. It was real close. I put it in my room. It's marginal. I took it, but it could have easily bounced because the event happened right there. But anyway, I took a failed balance break out of this dude, and then I took a breaking bad out of that guy, and those are the 2 trades that I put on. And then I put on Barks and Licks off of this as well. So algo guy, this is a exponential moving average. This is my filter for Bark and Lick trades. I'll go over all this strategy in the document if you're new in here, don't know what I'm talking about. But if the blue ribbon exponential moving average is below the red, that is my filter for Barks and Licks. So I took those as well here, and it was quite delightful as usual. I got filled with a tick at the time, and the thing literally, so I put on my failed balance breakout and my breaking bad there, and then the minute I actually missed it and it came in, it ticked me. And then it did that in like 4 seconds. I'm like, here we go. And then it bounced right off the volume event. And actually, this was another trade that you could have taken that the room's taking, reversion trades. We'll go over those too. We got some new ones as well. And anyway, ATR, retest, confirm. I also put on Barks and Licks. And I'm watching this liquidity here for my Lick trade to get out of if they can't get through there. So that's why I put those on. And that's heading down here right now. So I'm going to watch this closely here. And then I can put on new Barks and Licks off of this new event too. I can add to it potentially. So you can see on a day that you get a trending day, you can keep putting them on and trailing them to the most recent event. So actually this is here right now. I'm going to get out of my current Lick trade, and then I can always put it back on if it comes back and retest.
PC short validated.
All right, Right, so I'm going to give this a second here, though. So, again, this is one of my areas I get out, and this was my target for my lick trade. But if it blows right through her, I can hold it. If it starts to fail, like it's doing, then I get out. I'm going to get out of these. All right, so that was a nice lick trade. And then I could put them back on. I mean, I could put out another lick trade if this comes back, retest confirms, and then I'm sure there's probably liquidity below here too. Nothing is heavy, but this is lick. So if I put it on again, this would be my next target for my liquidity trade. So I'll go over those more at length in a second. I just want to see what's going on here with NASDAQ. So we looked at the structure. These are the gamma levels. So I use both spot gamma and Mentor Q. Now Mentor Q has the same types of levels for these equity products, but they also have them for all these other futures products, which are very, very important. It is just completely eye-opening how these levels, again, I traded for years and years and years, not even really knowing about this stuff as far as like how it affects these futures markets, and it's just crazy. As I adapted using spot gamma, and we've gone over spot gamma, and I continue to use it. It's very important with the trace indicator and the hero, the real-time options flow. We've been adapting in my trade room, right? So I still have all my traditional trading strategies, but these options dealers flow is such an important part of these markets nowadays that you need to adapt as a trader. So I've been introducing all these new strategies. We have a couple new reversion trades, and then the sexy gexy. I'll go over that. I actually have examples for you guys. Anyway, very, very important information, and what's moving these markets most of the time, right? So options dealers are not the only game in town. They're not the only player, but most days, when the big money's not participating, they are the only player, and you want to pay attention to what they're doing. Anyway, this was actually, so I missed this trade at the time. So this was a sexy gexy right here. So what is a sexy gexy? So most of my trades, I'm looking. So we have these ATR lines, right? So just from trading 5 million of these volume events over the last 8 years, I've come up with a system process of trading these areas. Again, I usually don't enter until the market can push away from the event. So that once again, I'll just keep using this example because I put this trade on today. I waited. I had an event here in gold, and I waited to put my orders when it pushed an ATR out of the zone. That's the best way that I determined to get in these trades up until the sexy gexy trade, right? And we have another one too, TikTok, but we won't get into that unless it happens. Anyway, I don't know why this isn't showing. Oh, because it's changed. I got a new event, but this is the zone drawing tool that now draws these events. So you can see here on the subchart,
high compliance
SI events, it'll draw it automatically for you. So this is, actually, let me put all this in the room too, and we'll go over the Bookmap stuff, the specials and stuff they got going on here. So this is my document I put in every week. This is zone drawing tool. So everything I use, I'll go over all this stuff, is all in this document, right? And the stuff I get into, like, well, you're wasting your time watching my webinars if you're not using Bookmap and the SI indicator because it's the driver of my trading. But all this other stuff, like the Mentor Q, the spot gamma, the tick strike, the trader sync, the Ludwig levels. You don't have to have all these if you're following my style of trading. This is what I use. If you like a couple of these things, use them. If you like them all, use them. I use all of them. So I just point out, so people come in my room and they're like, there's just too much stuff. I can't afford to buy all this stuff. You don't have to buy all this stuff, right? All you really need is Bookmap and the SI indicator, and you have an edge. But it's other stuff I use, like tick strike, to help me with my trading. So it doesn't mean you have to have it all. Just like when I go over these trading strategies, as you watch these webinars or come in my room, it doesn't mean you trade every single strategy. These are what I trade. Hey, that's a great idea. I like that trade. This one I don't like. I love the bark and the lick. I don't like the bark and the lick, right? It's for you to pick and choose which ones you like. You might love the sexy gexy. I don't know why you wouldn't, because it's an incredible trade. So this is what I was showing before I get into all that. First of all, here's a retest of that gold. So we have a trade for this as well. It's called the reversion trade, where it tags the ATR reversions. This is the 1, the 2, the 3 of the current ATR, and it comes back to the volume of it. It happens all day, every day in all these markets. So we have a trade for that. That's more of a scalping trade. So I'll go over all these different trades, but there's something for every type of mentality as far as positional trading or the quick scalpers, or these, or the R traders. I'll show you a quote that a trader put in yesterday. He's like, he got something for every type of trader, because a lot of traders don't like my method, because the way I get in these trades, I'm waiting for the push out of the area, and that hurts your R, according to that thinking. I disagree. I know it. I understand R fully as far as risk reward, but I just don't jump in these events until I get this push out. And this is all by trial and error. It's just not. I just didn't come in one day and be like, I'm going to wait for it to move out of here. I would love to enter these trades in the zone too, and most of them, you just can't. You got to wait for it to show its hand, per se, right? Meaning pushing ATR out. We do have a trade, and this is what I was getting at before that little rant. We have a sexy gexy. So this, you had a stop run here.
Russia's Novak says we expect oil demand to rise by 1 million barrels per day next year.
This gex level. So this is gamma level. This is where these dealers hedge. So when it comes to these levels, there's a trader in my trade room. He actually did a webinar for us last week that he introduced me to Method Q, Jordan, where he just takes them, if there's an event or not, because he knows the dealers are going to be hedging here. And yes, most of the time you get a reaction, like you got a reaction there in NASDAQ, right? There's times that the dealers are going to be hedging themselves, and it's still going to rip through here because the big money's in plowing through them, right? But the point is, most of the time, the big money's not in here doing their business, right? 80% of the time, it's just algos and options dealers. So these levels are incredible in their own right, and this is, Mentor Q and Spot Gamma. They're usually right around the same levels. But if you get a volume event there, that's even more of an edge, right? So we come down here, you see the dumb money puke. You already know the dealers are going to be hedging. You know this isn't initiative selling, it's just guys puking. You can jump in, and this is what the trade is. You jump in right when you see the event, and you can take a quick trade where I'm stopping out on my traditional ATR below the zone, but I'm not waiting for it. Like right now, I would just be getting in if I had a long going here, right? The point is, you can get in these trades, and I'll go over the sexy gexy. I have examples, but that's what I could have put on here. I didn't, because I was getting on the webinar. I didn't get a chance, but this was a winner. Hopefully my room took that. That was a nice trade. So there's really nothing to do there, because algo guy, remember we talked about barks and licks. Algo guy, well, I could put on a bark and lick long here. Algo guy did not pull bullish, or bearish I should say. It tried. This is actually telling you something. When the market actually pulls below here and can't yank that blue below when it turns back up, that's a good signal as well. I don't have an actual trade for that per se, but that's a good way to come up with a thesis about what's going on. So I can put on barks and licks here if there's liquidity above long, and there's a little bit. So I will go long here, bark and lick. I'm kind of late to the party, and I don't really like, we actually have a trade for this too. When the market tags an ATR, comes back, tags an ATR, if it comes back again, we actually have a trade where you can fade right when it gets through the zone. So if this comes back now, I will put on barks and licks, because I don't think you can ever lose, ever, being long these markets. It feels like lately. I'm being sarcastic, obviously, but anyway, if that comes back, I will put on a bark and lick at, actually, let's see, I might combine these just because that was at 7:49, so 8:49 Central. This one was at, they were 7 minutes apart. So I'll put on, if this comes back, I'll put on bark and lick at 21,527. And the beauty of the zone drawing tool is you plug in what your account size is and what you want to risk percentage-wise, and it spits out based on, so for instance, I want to risk $500 on a trade, it spits out the position sizing automatically, so I don't have to sit there and try to figure out. And that's one of the biggest faults of traders. They're over trading contract size to their account, right? And if you have too many on and you get a move against you, you're going to blow out your account. So I know that seems obvious, but it's not for a lot of people. Anyway, if it comes back 21, now it's 57.25, and that's the beauty of the zone drawer too. It is adapting to the volatility, the ATR, average true range. So right now it's 27.25. If it gets volatile, it might, it's 27.50, right? So you gotta, I keep changing it until I get filled. And once I get filled, then I don't change anything. Meaning, these yellow lines here, these aggressive long, aggressive short, are the stop areas too, each way. So if I go long at this price, my stop is down here. If I were to go to short off of this, which I'm not because it already disqualified that, but if I go short, then my stop is this yellow line.
That's Russia's Deputy PM Novak.
So all this is an ATR plus 15%. Again, it's trial and error of the best ways to enter. And I just determined from these events that if they can push the ATR out, it's showing the hand a lot better than just jumping in right in the zone, unless it's a sexy gexy, right? So we'll go over that. Anyway, if this comes back here, I'll go along Bark and Lick 2750. We do want to keep an eye on Hero as well. This is, again, this is real-time options flow. This is spot gamma Hero, and you can see this is why the markets are selling off a very, very good reason right now, because these dealers are getting loaded up with options. They have to turn around and hedge in the futures market selling futures, right? So this is actually a pretty decent move. This is almost 2 billion lower. And you see that that's for the SPX, but I mean, there is a Nasdaq Hero too.
Global oil demand growth seen at 1.4 million barrels per day.
What happened here, right? So it's just like a market, as far as just because it's going down now, it doesn't mean it can't turn back up. But it's really important information. Like there's traders in my trade room, for instance, if this gets to a certain notional level, meaning if it moves $1 billion notional, that's important. It's already moved $2 billion. So there's a trader, Madam Shizzle, in my trade room where if it gets $3 billion or more either way, right, she won't take the opposing side, right? So if this gets negative $3 billion, she won't take longs. If it gets positive $3 billion, she won't take shorts, just because you're fighting the options flow, and it's not fun most days, right? So you can see this thing is nosediving here. And so is the market. So these dealers are hedging today, and there's no one stopping them, and the market's just following the Hero flow. So does that mean I won't take a long off of that NASDAQ? No, but you just want to, oops, sorry, my slide sugar I'm going to get into. Why did that happen here? Hold on. I was trying to show it side by side, but anyway, you can see that. All right, and there has not been an event today. This was, I accidentally left my bookmap running last night, so this is from something either overnight or yesterday, so don't pay attention to this buy ice zone. Nothing's happened yet.
We see the release of the weekly EIA natural gas change. Forecast is a draw of 36 BCF on the prior draw of 2 BCF.
All right, I'll come back to that. So we did get the retest confirmed. Surprise, surprise, right to the zone. This is the trade, and we have again reversion trades that we played coming back, and then that failed at that area. Not surprisingly, again, guys, when you see these volume events, this is concentrated volume. All I'm trying to do in my trading is find areas of concentrated volume where traders are loaded up, and I know when it moves one way or another, I get a bigger move. But then there's also the effect of these markets. These algos snap the market's back to these zones. We have a trade for that too. So anyway, this for by position trading, this did what I was waiting for. It got the ATR, that's the blue line. It retested. This comes back again. I will add to my bark. I already took my lick off at this liquidity because it struggled to get through there. And if it comes back, but I'll put a new bark, and I'll put an additional bark and a new lick on too. So that entry is 2657.9. I can put on 6 micros. So again, there's nothing wrong with trading micros. It helps you. I don't want to trade a full contract because, one, it's through my risk tolerance level, and I don't want to be all or nothing getting in and out of the trade. If you're just trading one, you're in or you're out, all or nothing. I like to get out of some at important areas. We'll go over that as well. Put this in here. 78. All right, those are working. That comes back. So again, you can see if you catch a trending market, you can continue to add on certain strategies. So I put on the bark and lick there. Here's another one. Add to the bark and lick there. If I already got a lick, like I said, but and you get another one. You do it again. You do it again. So you can catch a trending market and have multiple positions on, right? And all you're doing is risking to the most recent event. So if I get another event, I just trail my stop to that. Another event, trail my stop to that. So yeah, eventually one of the positions will probably be a loser, but you catch the winner on that one, you see what I'm saying? So you get a trending market, you can kill it. And this is looking like it's going to zero. Free gold for everybody. So the other thing I do is I should have traded bigger size here, and I was just wrapped up in
short entered.
I just filled on the bark and lick there, by the way. So quickly, I just filled on the new trade. I already trailed my stop from my shorts of this one to here, and now I got new trades on. I'm still putting my stop here at 2666.3, that yellow line. That's the ATR plus 15%. because I know I'm going fast. I'm trading live, so I don't want people complaining. I mean, you can complain if you want, but it doesn't matter because I'm trading live. I know I'm talking fast. I know I'm doing things, and if you're new here, you're probably like, what the hell is this guy doing? These are live markets. It's not me showing you guys stuff after the fact. Anybody can do that. I'm trading live. So give me some slack. Is what I'm saying. All right, so this is moving nicely from this first short. So I look for certain areas that I will piece out of the trade as well. You know, as the market makes money available to me, straight out of trading in the zone. We'll go over that document too, like I do every single time. Anyway, for me, there's nothing to get out of any, unless this is a dizzy zone or a gex level. Actually, let's check this. I'm watching these gex levels, definitely. You know, if this gets down here and starts to struggle, I will get out of some here. What's that?
1 minute remaining.
26.55. What's the number coming out? Oh, natural gas. So 26.55, I will look if it struggles down there. It's real close. Actually, I'm going to get out of one of these because I can't keep track of it. This is another
Order filled.
live account. Let me just put these in. Because I still have double size on the bark, and I want to get out of a couple down there. Hold on here. I'll get out of 26.55 area. I just got to put them in. I usually will judge as it gets to those areas and see if it's going to blow through, but I can't on these webinars, right? Because I'm covering other stuff. So if it pops down to 26.55, I'm going to get out of a few of the original bark.
10 seconds.
And then the lick, I'm watching this liquidity down here and here. All right, so those are on. That's a nice trade. Hopefully my room put those on. I put it on right before I got on. I let them know. Anyway, what I was saying as far as structure, I should have double
Draw of
size of
30
these puppies.
BCF, draw of 30 BCF. That's higher than the expected draw of
That's a
36
failed balance
BCF.
breakout. The best trade in trading as far as structure stuff. Got through that high volume node, and so all these longs that thought they had it are now longer term longs are probably going to puke. This could be a whopper move today. I don't know. This is an Izzy zone too, so that's why I'm taking some off too. So this is an inflection zone. That's what Izzy zones are. It's another trading area strategy. So I'm okay getting out of some here. If it blows through here, though, this could be a whopper lower. All right, let's see what's going on here. There still has not been a setup in
We have
NASDAQ.
posted out the weekly EIA natural
yes.
gas change report on the feed for those interested.
I still have my barks and licks working here off of this. I'm not real excited about it because it keeps attempting. So market's telling you something thesis wise. If it keeps tagging the ATR, comes back, tags it, comes back, tags it, can't get through. That's not a good. We have a trade for that, like I said. So I mean, I'll still put these on, but it's not looking. I'm not real excited about it. But then again, you can never lose going long ever because the markets go up every single day. Again, I'm being facetious. So I am keeping an eye on this. These exponential moving averages are right on top of each other. This pulls lower, and going forward, I could put on barks and licks to the short side. So I'm actually hoping I don't even get filled on this long. I mean, I'm following my rules. This is me not trading what I feel, right? I feel like this trade's going to be a loser if I fill on it. It doesn't matter what I feel. I don't know what's going to happen next. I'm not psychic. Nobody is. I know my rules to trade these events, and I will put the trade on, right? If it loses, that's just the probabilities. You just keep putting them on if you have an edge, and you will become a winning trader. This is, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before. Damn it, I keep losing. Well, let's go over this stuff first. All right, so the Bookmap, there's 48 hours left for their global 50% off, the Global Plus and market data. I'll give you guys a link here in a second. And then they got a competition starting December 10th through 12th. I'm trying to see all this other stuff. So you have 48 hours to go for this, like that says. And then you got the competition 12th through 10th. And then Global Plus for $39.60. Use this coupon code December 2nd to the 12th. So for Global Plus gives you much more than just the global. You get the liquidity, the sweeps. Actually, the sweeps are in the SI, but you get liquidity. You get a lot more. I don't have the breakdown, but Global Plus is the way to go. And then here are the links here. I will put this stuff in the chat. I'll put everything in Bookmap chat. You guys should have it in Discord anyway. It's always in there. I mean, not Bookmap, YouTube. Hold on, I'm trying to find the damn thing. Here we go. I'm on mute in Discord. Sorry. Why is that? Sorry. Alright, sorry guys if you're on Discord. My bad. Got a lot going on here, trying to get all this stuff out, so hopefully you can hear me now. Thank you for putting it in YouTube because I don't see it otherwise. Alright. Demo trader, let me know if you can hear me. Alright, let me I'll put these links in first. So this is for the, put both these in. This is for the sales on the Bookmap. That's that. And why is it saying Daniel Parks? That's weird. Thank you, Daniel. It's showing that you pasted that. You didn't. All right, and then this is for the competition next week. That's that, and then I'll post my document here that we'll go over as the day goes on. This is everything that I'm using. And Dan, if you could post the stuff in the Discord, that'd be great, because it takes me time to do all this, obviously. I'm already struggling today. All right, that's all, everything that I'm going over here. All right, anyway, so what I was saying is, I'll harp on this the entire time. This is straight out of Trading in the Zone. As far as if you have an edge, there's a random distribution between wins and losses for any given set of variables that define an edge. An edge is nothing more than an indication of a higher probability. Meaning, like I was saying, I will put this NASDAQ long on. It feels terrible. I don't like when the market keeps tagging ATRs, and you could put this as part of your trading strategy as far as your rules. I don't have that as part of my rules, meaning, if this comes back and tags this, I'm taking the long. That's my rule. I don't know what's going to happen next. So if I have an edge, I just keep putting the trade on. It's easier said than done. I'm well aware, right? You take 3, 4, 5 losers in a row. You're like, this stuff sucks. I can't make money. It's never going to work again. That's just human nature. This stuff has been working for 8 years, and it works probably even better now than it did 8 years ago. So this is the best edge I've ever seen in my 25 years of trading experience. It's all I ever harp on. And especially now with the options information, I'm going to show you some of these trades, these instant entry trades too. It's been crazy. And actually this week I'm killing it. So, and last week, right? So, we adapt. So in the room, these trading strategies, a lot of these have been around for years that I'm using. But I as a trader, as any trader, you have to adapt to market conditions. And I've seen the light with this options flow and data with Mentor Q and Spot Gamma, where if you're ignoring it, you just like if you're ignoring the SI events and you're trading without the stuff, you just don't have all the information. I'm not saying you can't be a profitable trader without it, but if you're not using it, you just don't have all the information. That's all there is to it. And if you use it, if you're already a profitable trader, you're probably going to be 10 times profitable if you have the other information, right? All right, let's, and again, if you guys got questions, throw them in the YouTube, please. So I just want to see what this hero looks like. So this is stabilizing a little bit now, but that was a pretty decent move. It moved almost 3 billion, 2.5 billion notional. He says, Brent from Spot Gamma says $1 billion notional is a lot, and this actually did drag the market down, as you can see. Right, so there wasn't an event here. But the point is, it's moving with the hero right now. But it's just like a market, guys. It doesn't mean, oh, hero's lower, I'm going short here. This thing can turn right back up, just like the market can. But the point is, there's different strategies you can even employ with this. We talk about it all the time. So say hero moves another $1 billion down, right? And then, so it reacted the first time, right? Say it moves another $1 billion down, and ES just spins in place. Well, that's telling you something. The dealers are still hedging, but it's not going down anymore. That means a bigger entity is absorbing their hedging type of thing. And then the minute this thing turns up, then the market rips off the page. That's a strategy in itself. We don't have that as an official strategy yet. It's the next one I'm going to release that I'm going to be trading. I just got so many now that I'm watching. It's like my head spinning, and we'll go over some of these. But that is a great edge. It doesn't happen very often, but when you see it, so again, you see this thing move down another billion, and this does nothing, it's telling you something. Somebody's absorbing, because the dealers are hedging. They have to hedge. That's why these levels are so important in Spot Gamma and Mentor Q, because there's no question whether the dealers are going to hedge. Their options dealers don't play positional games. They have to hedge. Does it mean it's always going to bounce there? No, because there's other entities in the market, but most of the time it does have an effect, right? So let's look at some today. So again, this is the one I missed this morning. That NASDAQ had stop runs into this GEX1, and that's the heaviest GEX level. And what I'm talking about here is if you go, so I need to get them on my Bookmap. I've been having a problem with it because you got to get the price line add-on. They are now, for Mentor Q, they're now available in Bookmap. And that's going to be, because I missed so many trades because I just don't see them when they're happening. But I put Mentor Q in here, I think I did. Let's see. Yeah, right here. Actually, these I think these are the regular ones. I think this is the right coupon code. Actually, I'll put this in too, guys. I'll put this in the room too. I think these are the current ones. I don't think that's the Black Friday one. If it doesn't work, let me know and I'll put a new one in for you. That's it's got a monthly now too, though. Hold on, let me put the monthly in. Give me a second here. And I'm going to show you the bot in Discord. Hold on. Here's the monthly as well. So these should work. If they don't, let me know. And as you see these things, you guys are, I mean, again, if you're not using this stuff, you just don't have all the information. I'm not saying, I traded without this stuff for years, right? I didn't even know it really existed, to tell you the truth. I mean, I knew there was options dealers, but I had no idea that it had the power that it does, right? Why can't I post that? Hold on. Those should work. If they don't work, please let me know. Let's see what gold's doing. I'd like gold to go to 0 if possible. Anyway, I missed that one. That was a sexy gexy. I'm going to go over these examples here in a second. But that was a stop run into the gex level where you could have just jumped in right on the spot. So there was one. I'll show you a couple from yesterday. Let me pull this up. So here's some examples. This was yesterday afternoon. Wasn't a huge move, but so the way I'm doing it, again, you could trade these levels on their own. Most times you're going to get a reaction. There's traders in my room that are trading them. For any area, again, my AKA trading strategies are just areas that I am looking for events. This one came up here, so you already know the dealers are going to hedge, and you had sell ice. The sell ice could have been the dealers. Don't know, don't care. The point is, when you get the volume event, for this particular trade, it's a great risk-reward trade because you're hopping in the minute you hear the event. For all my other strategies, most of all my other strategies, I'm waiting to get in there. For this strategy, because you know the reaction, you get in right when you hear it. So it's a great risk-reward. I use my traditional risk level, aka that line, the ATR plus 15%. I just filled on some more of those gold exits. That's a very nice trade. I really wish I would have traded double size. I just had so much going on, but that market looks like it's going to 0, like I said. At least today. When I say that, guys, I'm just kidding. Like, I just have a strong, my thesis is lower. Do I know what's going to happen next? No. That's why I use real-time volume events. But this looks like it's going to get killed today, right? If it doesn't, for some reason, and recovers, then you expect even a bigger move the other way. But right now, this looks like adios, amigo. So anyway, this was yesterday. Sell ice, and the more gex levels you have in an area, the stronger the area is. I don't have the labels here, but I'll show you a couple other ones as far as which ones they were. Oh, what I was going to show you real quick too, when I said it's the gex one. Hold on a second. Let me find this. So this is the bot for Mentor Q. So you come in here and you put. So I pull in all levels. Again, they're available for Bookmap right now. I just haven't gotten them on because I was having a problem with it. You got to get the price line add-on. He goes over all that on the website. But so I have them on TradingView right now. But this is Gex 1. So what's Gex 1? Well, that's just the heaviest volume gamma level. So if I go here, Gex, that Gex, and Q. So you see this right here. This is what's just showing, and it's just showing in a different with the lines on the trading view or your book map, right? So that's that right there. I'm assuming, right? That's the biggest one. Let's see. 21, right around 21,600. No, that's not right. 21,500. Why would that be Gex1 then? Let's see. Oh yeah, that's it. These are just pretty scrunched, these prices, right? So yeah, that's 21,500 right there, Gex1. So that's what that's showing you on as far as the Gex levels. So the lower amount of gamma, the higher the Gex level, meaning Gex10 isn't as strong as Gex1. So you can take some off. He's got blind spots, also levels, which are levels that they're proprietary, but it kind of blends these BL. It blends like the QQQ and the NDX. So you can see here, this is an important level, and that's kind of why it's like spinning around here. You have the Gex5, HVL. I forgot what HVL stands for. Don't care. 0 date to expiration. Guys, I just pay attention to lines. I don't claim to be an option expert. I know the markets react at these levels, but you can see it's kind of so. And you see bounced off that, bounced off that. So they're important areas to pay attention to for either entering trades or if you've got a trade on and it. As a matter of fact, I want to see where this gold is. Right here. I should be out of some. I already got out of some. Sorry, I put that in. That was that exit, right? So I got out of some and bounced right off the Gex1 level. So if there was an event here, I could have taken a sexy gexy long. Let's see where we're at here. So guys, this is just what drives market. Real-time volume drives markets. You know, in these areas, you know these dealers are going to be hedging. So there was no event there, but that's why I got out of some here. I want to get out of another one of these. Hold on.
Order filled.
Excuse me. All right, so that is a good trade so far. I got out of some. I usually miss my. I should get a couple more here. So the lick trade, I don't get out until it gets to liquidity. Right, so I don't pay attention to any levels, Ludwig levels, Gex levels, meaning. I already determined for this. I already got out of the first liquidity trade. Remember when I was struggling at this liquidity, and I said I'm going to hold it, and then my next one's down here. So unless it gets down here for my lick trade, it's do or die. Meaning it gets down to this level, or I get a new, or I stop out at the original stop, or I get a new event, trail my stop. That's the liquidity trade. These other trades, trading strategies they put on, I will piece out as the market makes money available to me, aka trading in the zone. That's this, right? And these are my areas that I deem important, why I will get out. And I pay myself as the market makes money available to me. These are the areas. Ludwig levels, we'll cover these. Market profile composites, highest, lowest, points of controls. VWAP and VWAP extreme standard deviations. Spot gamma levels, Mether Q levels. Struggle to get through heavy resting liquidity. We already saw that today. Important predefined zones based on candle structure. Those are the Izzy zones. That's these, right? So I'm watching all these. So I know that's the spot gamma or the Mether Q level, that Gex1, and it's in this Izzy zone, which it rejected last time. So that's why I got out of more. Right? So these are areas where I will piece out. I don't trail my stop to break even or make sure I make a profit. That's imposing your will on the market. I mean, just randomly. I trail my stop. I will get out at important areas as it moves lower. In this case, I only trail my stop if I get a new event. So my stop is still where it was, and I won't trail it lower unless I get a new event. That is the biggest fault of traders that I see. Even these educators out there, I'm gonna move this one just so I make sure I guarantee a profit. Like that's just you imposing your will. Yeah, if you're doing it for a reason based on something that's happened in the market, fine. Anyway, I did fill on these. I should be filled on these. Let's see here. Remember I said I didn't want to put these on, but I had to follow my rules. Yes, no. Why did I not get those on? Hold on. Must have forgot to put this in. All right, so I did not fill on that. I might have just gotten lucky. That never happens, but as far as getting lucky, usually it's ripping off the page, meaning it's moving lower, right? And I never filled. So if it comes back, I just never put these on. I don't know what I was doing here. So if it comes back there, I will put on Bark and Lick. I may have avoided a loser here, and I would just be lucky, right? I meant to put it on when it came back up there. So if it comes back again, I'll put it on 28.25. And a lot of traders are like, well, if we're going to get in at 28.25 and it's back here, why don't you put it on here? Well, because I feel like I got away with something. What we can do in this, what you can do, and this is advanced, right? Please, if you don't even know what I'm talking about with these events and the entries and how we're entering and exiting, please don't even consider this until you know what you're doing. But this is an advanced way using market pulse price change. All right, we'll go over these, but you can see these algos are running the show right now. Every time this thing spikes, the market rips the other way. Look how incredible this is. So even if you can scalp off this if you want, again, the price change works until it doesn't work. If big money comes in here, this thing's price change for 100 points. Point is, most of the time, the big money's not in here, and it's algos whipsawing you to death. If anything, even if you're not trading this per se, at least you can make sense of why you're literally getting run ragged if you're in a trade or even if you're not. Look at this. Every time this thing spikes, it goes the other way. Price change algo. It's incredible. Part of the market pulse, right? Spike, spike, a spike, a spike. Remember that show? It was on Tom and Jerry, I think. You got to be old enough to know what I'm talking about. Anyway, it's incredible. So until it's not, until big money comes in and unloads, and it can price change forever. But what I'm saying is, you can do is say this is coming to the entry, right? Say it was the first time up here, and you're like, okay, I'm getting in. Or actually, we waited for the ATR, your retest, and you're getting in here. This is what I should have done initially. I just missed it, right? Well, you're like, wait a minute, that's price changing. I'm going to wait for this price change to happen, and then on the pullback, I'm going to get in at a better price. Yes, you can do that,
validated.
right? This is advanced, guys. Please learn what you're doing with this stuff, the basic stuff, before you employ this stuff. All right, so this is why I didn't want to go long. Again, I just got lucky not putting that long on, because this thing, when the markets keep pushing an ATR out and can't launch, it keeps coming back to the zone, can't go, then we actually have a trade for this. It's called hot knife through butter. You can take it right now and then risk the other side of the zone for half and then up here. I'm not going to get into that trade right now, but it's telling you something is what I'm trying to say, that it can't launch, especially anyone who's watching these markets for the last, feels like 3 years. If it can't go higher that many times, there's something up, right? So now what I'm watching for, this is just a thesis. I have no trade on. I have no short on yet. If this, we already talked about this though, if this puppy breaks, I have a trade for that.
NQ stop sell NQ.
There you go.
157 contracts.
There's a stop run. So I'm watching for that structure for thesis. I'll trade bigger.
162 contracts.
And what we're getting here,
GC long validated.
these are very likely, this is why we call it algo guy. You're getting an algo. We call this algo guy. It's the exponential moving average ribbon. That just crossed. When that crosses, you get algos that play for that. So that's why I demand that for my bark and lick trades. All right, so this is actually a double whammy, one of the 6 distinct setups, part of my trading course. I know I go over all this every week, but there's always new traders on here, so bear with me, guys. Just show you this really quickly so you know what I'm talking about, so it doesn't sound like I'm just pulling out names out of the air.
151 contracts.
All right, so I'm missing. I need to be getting out of this trade basically now. So this is how I trail my stops. Gold, sell stops. Remember, I got out of some down here. Perfect area to get out. That was the gex level too, by the way. New event. I'm supposed to be stopping out right here. I usually move it outside of the zone, which it is. I'm out of these trades right now. It's still profitable. Guys, this is why you need to know where this stuff is happening. Right? You need to know that, well, this is a broken ice event, but, you know, one, you need to know where the gex level was. That's exactly where that bounced, right? I'm not saying it always bounces, but very likely that's the number 1 gex right off of there. And then, a new event, and I trail my stop. Now you got buyers coming in. I just got out, but now I can take trades. I could take trades off of either one of these potentially. I'll come back. It's moving a little quick right now. Plus, I want to go over this.
15 contracts.
I know more people are. You got some crypto action too. We'll go over there just to show you guys. It doesn't matter what futures market you're watching. If you know
iceberg by GC, 150 contracts.
If you know the threshold, aka the amount of volume that is meaningful, you can trade any market. It's the same patterns over and over and over, and that's all trading is deciphering patterns and taking advantage of it. All right, so we have a double whammy here. Oh, 1 second here. Any questions, throw them in, guys. I haven't had a chance to look yet if you put them on the YouTube. Right, so this is a double whammy, right?
25 contracts.
We got Bitcoin action firing off too. You have, I'll show you something too if we get a chance to. You can put the ES levels on Bitcoin, the options levels, and they respond to them. It's pretty wild. Anyway, sell stops, dumb money puke, and in the waiting hands of buy ice. This is inherently, well, this is called a double whammy. It's inherently should be bullish. If it breaks, it's telling you something, and I talk about that in my course too. So this is what I'm referring to here. So when I say double whammy, this guy here. So this is my course. You can get this on the Bookmap Marketplace or my website. These are my setups, right? So I'm looking for these volume events at important areas. Dumb and Dumber, dumb money puke. We talked about that. Stop and hold is when you get to stop, run, and then holds. The big money comes in behind it. Titanic, when buy icebergs or sell icebergs. Icebergs are hidden orders in the order book that do not trigger until they're traded into. The CME allows traders, bigger traders, because it costs more to put icebergs in. But because if someone comes in and they want to put a 300 lot in, look at the order book. If I put a 300 lot in right now, this market would scream away. These algos would scream away trying to get me to chase it. So that's why firms use icebergs, because it costs them so much slippage trying to try to get into the order, because these algos running away from them. So they hide it. So they just got to, so if this is a 300 iceberg, they got to show, I think it's 10% now, they got to show a 30 lot. So, these sellers come in and like, that's 30. I'm going to take that out. Actually, it'd be on this side of the order book, the dome, the market. They're like, I'm going to plow right through that, and then they try to sell it, and then there's another 270 behind it, and they're like, oh crap, the market didn't move, and then it does that, right? So that's what icebergs are. That's what the big money uses. That's why we call it the big money. Very important to know this information. Just like it's important to know the dealer information, you want to know when someone's coming in and buying 300 NASDAQ futures at a time, right? It's probably pretty important. If you want to ignore it, ignore it. You do it at your own risk, because it's what drives markets. Volume drives markets, not lines on a chart. Volume drives markets. Markets don't do anything unless volume trades. Anyone who tells you any different has no idea what they're talking about. If someone says that volume doesn't matter, run as fast as you can from that person, that educator, and I'm using air quotes. I've seen it. I've seen them. You don't pay attention to that stuff. What? Well, like, what do you think moves the markets? It's not like magic. It's not fairy dust. All right. So anyway, this is an event. That's the first step. Next step is this in one of my important areas, aka trading strategy. It didn't quite get to an IZZY zone, so I have no IZZYs to trade there. What else do we got? Do we have a gex level? This is the newest trade. If we did, I already missed the damn trade. If it is, I'm going to be sad. Nothing here. We already went through the first gex level. This is also telling you something too. So it's just like anything else in trading. Support is support until it's not, and then it's resistance, right? So that got through here. It's trying to pop above. We'll see what happens here, right? So I'm not saying to do anything with this, but I'm just saying as a thesis, it's interesting that it ripped through there. It is bouncing a little bit here, but it's kind of
long validated.
You want to see how it reacts here, as far as just a thesis with the option stuff. But there was no sexy gexy for me to take here, meaning instant entry. What else do we have? Do we have anything on market profile or Ludwig levels? So again, like when I was originally looking at this with this gold trade before I get over to Nasdaq, remember I was saying, well, there's nothing. And granted, this was 3 standard deviations from VWAP, and you get those algos that pop in here. But until this is what I'm talking about, I've been trading for years and years and years without this information. I would have had no idea why this thing bounced. And when I look at this, I'm like, oh, it bounced because this is the heaviest gamma level on the board. That's kind of important to know. Again, I didn't know that for years and years and years. Now I do. I got out of some. That just saved me over 100 ticks. I mean, I'm out of the trade. I could have been, stopped out of all of them and not got out of any. So that's why it's important. Anyway, for this event, I'm not seeing anything here as far as my strategies. This is a single day. No, I mean, there's no pick, market profile composite. This is yesterday's daily value area. I'm sorry, not daily value area. Value area high. It's important, but it's not as important as the composites. Composites are days that are merged. So you could have a trade for that. I'm not saying it's not important. It's not important to me. And guys, this is what I say every day. These are my important areas. Doesn't mean they're yours. If you have something that you love, great. I'm telling you, you're gonna do much better if you demand a real-time volume event in that area. And that's all I'm doing. So actually, this was, if I did want to trade spot gamma the QQQ, I could have taken a sexy gexy off that. I just didn't. I don't know why I didn't see it because it's staring me in the face. But this is a perfect example. So the way we're trading right now, this is a work in progress, right? I'm still, as far as this trading strategy, right? All you need to know, basically, and I'm going to show you these examples, more examples. You take any fade trade into a spot gamma, and this is the one I missed, spot gamma or a mentor Q level. Most of the time they're the same. Trade is taken immediately when an opposing SI event occurs. What's the opposing SI event? Well, this was like a double, aka double whammy, because this was a double whammy. Not only did I have sell stops into the gamma level, which is not real selling most times, then I had buy. So I know the big money is buying here. I know the dealers have to hedge, and I know the dumb money was just puking there. You jump in right when you hear it, right? So the way we're doing it right now, the way I'm doing it is I will get out a half when it pushes the 1 ATR away, right? And then I'll leave half on to see if we can get a bigger move. So this is the key. If it's just the level, and again, there are traders in my room trading these areas blindly without the event. Great, I demand an event. So the point is, you buy that, it's a nice trade. You already know you're going to get the reaction from the dealers. Now you're getting the volume event too, concentrated volume, so I can expect a bigger move if this moves here anyway. See what I'm saying? So it's like you're playing the first reaction with the dealers, but then I know this is a volume event. The whole core of my trading, this is where I can get an incredible risk reward, where I'm in right here. My stops down here at the shallow line. You know, this moves 50, 100 points. I'm getting like 5R. Right, because I'm not waiting for that to enter like I do in my other strategies. So hopefully that's not confusing, but that's.
That was the US to sell 22 billion in a reopened 30-year bond sale on December 12th.
So you guys got any questions? I got to take a breath.
Shorter maturities now. The US selling $72 billion in 6-month bills on December 9th, settling on December 12th, and $81 billion in 3-month bills on December 9th, settling on December 12th.
My Bookmap has frozen any ideas, and I'm not you get a contact support on that, Ahmad. I seem to be on mute, I already covered that. Daniel must be Dan in the room. He's not usually listed as his last name, I don't think, but I'm not very sure. All right, no questions. So I guess everything I'm saying is just crystal clear, which is good. It means I'm the best educator of all time. All right. So as far as structure stuff, these just look completely bullish until something changes here, right? This is ES. There hasn't been an event here. I would use that as a balance area. If that breaks, I'd say line in the sand is around 60-80. If I start getting events there, I'd play a failed balance breakout. And I could play the breaking bad current balance breakdown through the high volume node, and the thesis would be lower, at least to this stuff, right? So this is just me coming up with a thesis where I trade long or short all day because I'm a day trader. But if I see volume events in the direction of my thesis, I trade bigger. That's what I was saying. I should have traded this gold trade earlier, double size, because of what was happening. But once again, this is why I draw these zones and have these zones. Look at that. That's not bearish. So what I said was, this should get killed. I said if it doesn't, and it comes back and recaptures that area, aka the high volume node, that's telling you something's up, and it's probably going to move multiples the other way. And when something that should happen doesn't happen, as far as market structure, expect much bigger moves the other way, right? And same thing with crude here going the other way. We got this thinkorswim. I'm almost off thinkorswim. I'm going to be putting these Zizzy zones on Sierra chart, and then you can get the CB, the file, and you can just literally just bring it right in. So this is almost done. I can't take Thinkorswim anymore. It's just such a piece of garbage. But it's free, so you get what you pay for, right? Again, guys, I try cutting costs like everybody else. If you don't have to pay for something, why would you pay for it? So that's why I've used this for years and years. But it's just they don't roll their contracts timely, and I can go on and on and on. So anyway, Sierra chart is where I'm going to put the ISI zones, where you can just bring them right in to the cloud, and you might be able to bring them into Bookmap too. I got to check on that, the CSV file, whatever it is. I don't claim to be an expert on that stuff, but someone in my room is helping me with that. So anyway, this is crude, right? So this is how things change. You got to be ready to pivot. I was saying, and I did catch this trade the other day. This is a fail balance breakdown, right? And I said if it gets through, this was on my trading webinar this day, and I said if it gets through here, I'm trading double size longs. I did, and this thing ripped, right? Well, it ripped. It moved about $2, a little less, but then it stuttered. Started in this zone where you had failure, built balance, and then there was some news story out as usual yesterday. You can see. So once again, something that should happen doesn't. Yeah, this was a decent move, but this should be like up here. Now, why did this come back? Like, okay, well, I've got to reassess now. And you can see it's building balance now, right at that high volume node. So if this moves lower, this thing is very likely going to get smoked. Likely. It's a guess. I don't know. The point is, this area breaks, and I get a bearish event.
Prior GC long valid.
Stop filled.
Uh-oh, I forgot to cancel my orders. Hold on. That's a new one for me. Not. Hold on here. Damn it. Of course.
Order filled.
Of course it's a loser. Those were my stops from earlier in gold. I just forgot to take them out like I always do. Hold on. I don't want to be long gold here because it was an accident. All right, so anyway, if the market breaks this current balance, this is crude, right? And you can see it put in a buying tail here too. So if this breaks again, it should get killed. It's just a guess. It's AK Thesis is a guess. But if I get bearish events, I'm probably going to trade triple size shorts just because this thing should have not come back. It should not be breaking down out of that balance. If this holds, then I'll trade longs. I'm not going to trade double size longs. If it gets back above all this stuff, then I would trade double size longs. But that's a way away. This is called coming up with a thesis. It's called if-then scenarios. And then you wait for the real-time volume events to confirm them. And then you can trade bigger. That's all I do all day long. So let's see what's going on here in gold now. Pretty important what happens here. This is right back at this high volume node of this guy. And I put on a whopping buying tail as of right now. And we got an event. And nothing else is happening anywhere, so let's trade some gold. So we had buy ice. I would combine these two. This is very likely, they came in right after, cut off because of the minute. I
Prior
had set for a
SI
minute.
short retested.
What was that? That was silver. I'm going to combine these two. It's very likely the same house. And even if it wasn't, if you get them back to back, you just want to have one bigger area. So this is
Prior
beauty of
GC long validated.
the zone drawing
Prior
tool.
GC long validated.
Adjust it.
Prior GC long.
This thing is, I couldn't live without it now. Thank you, Johan. He's a trader in my trade room. He's a developer from France, actually. And he was in Scottsdale a couple weeks ago. I met him personally. Good dude, smart as can be, smart as a whip, as they say. All right, so this is a buy ice event. Step one. Let's see where we're at. Let's see where we are on these gex levels here. Not yet, but this is an area you want to watch, right? If we say we come up here and I get buy stops into this, I would take a sexy gexy short or sell ice. What you don't want to do is take. You get up here and you get buy ice. I wouldn't fade buy ice if it's buy stops or sell ice. I'll take the sexy gexy. See what I'm saying? It's got to be in the direction that fade as a resistance trade. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, let's see what we got on. So I don't really have anything here unless this fails out of here, right? So you have the buy ice event here. If this were to fail back out, I can take a pick short Pick long. I mean, it's already in here. If I got the event like right there, yeah, I can take that. But that's, you know, again, this is just one of my areas. That's this trading strategy right here. Profiles encourage. Take any trade that moves into or out of a market profile composite high or low. Trade can be taken if the market moves out, then back to the high or low if the market accepts, and then comes back. So that would be. So actually, this may be. So what I'm talking about here is many times the pattern is just like this, right? So it'll like move out, come back, retest, then go. This one got back inside, but then the other pattern, very, very often, it gets, you know, say it gets inside here, it'll retest the bottom, and then it'll go. So these are all patterns. Actually, I'll put this in. Grumpy from my room put this in. I put it in a long time ago, but he put this in not too long ago. Let's see, maybe put it in. Here, so this is my room, trade room. So guys, this is what I do every day. I say twice a day, but lately the PM webinars, there's just been nothing happening. So a lot of times I'll cancel them. What am I doing here? I think he put it in here. Look at Grumpy participating. Guys, please don't come in my room unless you're going to participate. That's all I ask, right? It's good for everybody and yourself. I thought he put these in here. So you can see these guys are doing butterfly, these pin strategy. I still haven't learned it, but these guys are making like 7 to 1 on these trades based on the spot gamma and the trace indicator. This puppy. Again, I'm not going to try to explain it because I still don't know how to do it, but they are trading this thing and they're looking for pins, especially in this crappy market environment where there's no volatility. Why is this all dark? I didn't set this to dark. I don't know how to change it right now, but it's supposed to be white, and it's like the white area in between the gamma levels that they're trading to for pins. And again, I'm not going to act like I know what I'm talking about, but they are doing very well with it. So that's what that channel is. I'm just trying to find this. I'm going to show you guys these patterns. Let's see here. That's Algo Guy right there. Actually, I'll put this in if you guys want to learn about Algo Guy. I put it in. I haven't put it in lately. I usually put it in every webinar. You can come up with 10 strategies for this thing alone or more. There you go. It's in YouTube. I know the patterns are in here. Guess not. They're in one of these channels. I just was going to show you the patterns of the market profile stuff. If you guys remember, like Grumpy, if you're on here, tell me what, because I know you posted it not too long ago. Tell me what channel that's in, please, so I can post it. I appreciate that. And other than that, very quiet. I did not take the sexy gexy off of this. You know, it could have been in down here, which the minute you heard the stuff firing off. So it's already 20 points, 20 plus points in your favor if you did. Again, hopefully someone in my room took that. As far as Algo Guy and how I'm going to trade this, Algo Guy is bearish, so I can't take barks or licks off of this. There's nothing for me to take aggressive long based on my areas. We just went over that. So the only way I can trade this particular event, because Algo Guy is bearish, that's what I just posted in an exponential moving average ribbon. I can't take barks and licks long because it's not in that direction. If it does this, I can take shorts. So we'll see. I don't know what I'm doing yet. This is why I wait for most of my strategy. I could have put on the sexy gexy, like I said, I did. Other than that, the other of my strategies, I'm waiting for the ATR retest to decide, and I can't do anything alongside anyway. So just wait. This is how you trade. You're like a sniper, just waiting for what you want to see, and then you put your trade on. Let's see what else we missed today. We'll back to the long here, or potential long in this gold trade. So Algo Guy is not quite pulled yet. So this is another thesis that potentially, right? If you see the market pull above the red and it can't yank that blue above, it gets back below, and many times you get the next wave down. I don't trade that as far as a trade, but this helps me with the thesis of what potentially is going on. And gold's not out of the woods yet either, right? It's right at that high volume node like I was talking about and showing, but it's definitely not out of the woods yet. Right? Especially, this is still at, we don't know what this is bullish or bearish. Again, I wait for the ATR to confirm it. If this fails, I'm okay going short again. Let's see. I mean, tick strike's even quiet. You don't get that very often. I'm trying to find my chart that I lose every time. Go think or swim. Gotta scroll through 85 charts to find the chart. Oh, and it's right on the main window. That's a shocker. Alright, so there's no Izzy zone here for me to short. And there's no market profile. I take that back. So if this fails, I will take a pick short. I just actually talked about this, right? So here's the event. It's right at the edge. If this comes back out, my fill will be outside of the market profile composite. So I will take a pick short. Picks are usually aggressive. You can wait for ATR retest, but I take it aggressively. So if this moves out of here, as long as it doesn't confirm as a long, this moves back out, I'm going to go short. I'm going to take double-sized shorts on this one because it's still bearish. My thesis, right? So pick strategy, I will short 2657.5. I could put on 5. I will double it up because of my thesis. As long as this doesn't turn bullish. If it turns bullish, then I got other trades I can put on. And then, because algo guy is still bearish, I can also put on, if this happens, which it probably will because it happens almost every time, ATR retest confirm, and then I'll put on barks and licks again that way. As long as it doesn't tag the ATR above. If it does, then this is a bullish event. And then I put on bullish strategies, right? I wouldn't put them on double size right here, a little higher I might. 2657.5 is my short for pick. Let me put that in. I had my mistake trade on. I thought I got out of this. What am I doing?
Fed bids for 4-week bills total $277.7 million.
I had 3 strategies on that I had stops on from before, and I forgot to take them out, so that was a loser for no reason. That's my MO. 2657.7 pick short. I'm going to trade that double size. If this turns bullish, then I could put on maybe barks and licks if it pulls. If this pulls Mr. Blue above. That's my filter for barks and licks. So we'll keep an eye on that. Other than that, there is just nothing happening in any market. Futures ESNQ. What does that mean? James Workman. Let's see. Anything happened in Russell today? So let's look at some of these gamma levels just to get a feel. Well, first of all, you've got the spot gamma, right? They're all above, but let's see if these were any gex levels where this bounced. I'm not trading them unless I get an event, but it's just good to see the market's reacting here. There you go. Gex 4 right off of it. Again, there's no trade for me, but again, there's traders in my trade room that are taking these blindly. Have fun. I demand a value event in any area that I deem important. This is what you really want to watch. This is one of those where you get a bunch of different levels.
NQ long validated.
Very likely get a
Prior
bounce there.
NQ long
And
validated.
guys, if it doesn't bounce, it's telling you something too, right? That means the big money's plowing right through there. And all right, so this is actually now a long setup at NQ, but there's nothing for me to do off of this event unless this can pull back blue above the red from my barking leg. Other than that, there's not for me. You may have a level here. This could be like the 50-day moving average. It could very unlikely because we're at highs. But point is, there's nothing for me. You could be saying, "Oh, I love to take moves into the tops of prior balances." Well, great. There's your top of the prior balance, and you got a bullish event. Take the trade. For me, there's nothing here to go long off of. But you do have the event. If this is an area, again, I should be long the sexy gexy right here. I missed it, like I said 10 times. But for me, other than that, the trade I missed, there's nothing for me to go long. So I just sit here and wait for another event and wait for an area. if this does move higher and pulls the algo guy, I could take barks and licks on a retest of this. Right? Other than that, there's not really anything happening. So when there was stuff going on, no one in Discord could hear me, so that wasn't very good. Sorry, guys. I just got so many things that I'm doing right before the webinars on top of trades on that I just forget to do all the steps, so I apologize for that. Let's actually look at some of these other markets just to show you it doesn't matter what market you're trading. I heard Bitcoin earlier. Let's see. These are the Bitcoin futures. You can trade the cash off of what you see on the futures. You don't have to trade the futures. Right. So this is about to be a bullish event. So you had sell ice. It did react. Came right back. Buy ice. You're about to get your ATR right there. So if you were, like if I was trading this normally, like barks and licks and so on and so forth, you know, I look at the same stuff as far as the, what was that?
ETC long validated.
Why am I long? It's got long NASDAQ. Why? I didn't have anything working. That was from before. So I gotta, once again, guys, I just, you know, I'm on these webinars and I forget orders in the order book. And that's why I'm trading Apex. So that's a good segue into this other stuff. Since nothing is happening, I can go cover this stuff real quick. But anyway, Bitcoin, I just wanted to show you the structure stuff. Hold on, let me find the charts here. So first and foremost, let's look at Algo Guy for you Bitcoin traders. Starting to pull right now, so you could take a Algo Guy cross. I demand heavy relative volume. I don't see any right here, so that strategy is not in play, but you could take barks and licks there.
So in 10 minutes time now at the bottom of the hour, we do see the US selling $85 billion
Right,
in
so it's
4
the
week
same
bills.
pattern.
The prime
One, you
high
can take
yield
reversion
was
trades back to the south.
4.55%.
Two, you
and
can
the
wait for
private cover
the
was
ATR retest to take longs.
Also keep in mind at the bottom of
Okay,
the hour,
they got
expect
Bitcoin
possible
futures, they
comments
got
from
micros,
Fed Sparkin as
or
well.
you can trade the
Some
cash.
calendars
Trade
have
the
him
cash
slated
off
to
what you see
speak
here.
at 12:15 p.m. Eastern time, while others have him slated for
and then
11:30.
structure.
That's at the bottom of the hour.
I haven't
As we'll be keeping
updated
up on
my
possible
zones
comments
here
from Barkin
recently.
Net
again
gas
in
ice
just under 10
iceberg
minutes
by
time
NG.
now.
160 for
We got
contracts.
now something more in something new in NASDAQ. So you can see this broke out of this bigger balance. It's all fractal. It was a bigger balance and smaller balance. Right? It's a balance area pretty much. Right? Just two-sided trade. That's what a balance area is. And yeah, this guy gapped up today. So great areas to watch for. If it moves back to the SISI zone, that would be a very good long potential. If the event's bullish, all the way up to the high volume node, which would be right where this gap from. So both of these would be good long areas. If this does this and gets through this, just like any other market, that's a failed balance breakout. Watch out below. I mean, relatively, you know what I'm saying, right? This thing is just screaming higher. Congratulations if you own Bitcoin. I had a chance to buy it when it was $200, and I didn't understand it, and I didn't buy it, and then it was $2,000, and I said, well, now it's $2,000, and then it was $20,000. I said, well, now it's $20,000, now it's $100,000, and I've never bought one. So there you go. $200. I was introduced. I was on a webinar. The guy talked about buying it and mining it, and I just said, yeah, I don't know what this is. So that was not very bright. I thought I heard a NASDAQ. Hold on. Let's see what we got here. Oh, nat gas. I thought he said NASDAQ. So natural gas. Let's take a look at natural gas. It doesn't matter what market you're watching. That's why you're doing yourself a disservice if you're just staring at the crappy ES all day, which so many traders just love to do, and I don't understand it. If you have this kind of information, branch out. This is all opportunity that you're costing yourself by staring at one market. You know, some people don't have the bandwidth to trade 15 markets like I watch. Fine, pick 2 or 3, but don't stare at one all day, and then you start doing stupid crap, right? Start forcing trades because you got to pay your rent. You got to buy your kid the GI Joe with the Kung Fu grip for Christmas. You start forcing trades, right? Move to opportunity. Anyway, this is buy ice and natural gas. Step 1. This is just sitting smack dab in this Izzy zone, so that's not a real Izzy. It is a potential, but it's a variation. If it moved out of here, it comes back, then I can potentially take it. Let's check. Actually, let's see if this was a sexy gexy that I already missed because I already moved out of there. And no, but it did bounce off gex 3. There was nothing up there. And then finally, let's look at the market profile composites and Ludwig levels. So nothing on Ludwig levels, nothing on market profile composites for my areas. So nothing doing there. By the way, if you took the sexy gexy, it's working very, very nicely. Again, the trades I miss are just literally screamers to the upside. So once again, this came down. Spot gamma level. The minute you hear it, you jump in. Your stop is a traditional stop for the zone drawer right here. And I would have been out at half at ATR and let half ride, and you have yourself an incredible trade. This is already, you know, if you get in right in the middle here, you're already talking 50 point trade. So that 50 point trade. So that's congratulations. Someone had to have taken that in my room. Where I would, if I was long, where I'd be watching to get out of some of these. These are my areas, prior volume events. So if it starts to struggle there, get out of some there. And then I definitely watch the gex levels and the Izzy zones. There's no Izzy zone up here, but this is the next level, and it's already failed twice up here. This one just barely missed it. This one tagged it. Oh, by the way, let's just look at a couple of these. I just want to show you some of these trades.
ETH1
We haven't
validated.
even gone over the back and black trade. That's another one that has been just killing it. Why can't I find this stuff? There we go. So these are all examples of the sexy gexy, right? This was yesterday, right at the close. Sell ice, moved like 10 points out of there. This was soybeans, right? Like, look at this. It's ridiculous. I demand the volume event. You don't even have to do that, but I do, right? But came down, came back into it. Buy ice, quick move. And these all, you know, these don't look like huge. This is like 4 or 5 cent move, but if you're getting in right when the
US
fires
selling
off, it's a great
$85
risk
billion
reward trade.
in 4-week bills.
Here's
Prior
NASDAQ.
high yield was 4.55%,
Buy
and the
stops.
prior bid to cover was
Boom,
2.81.
jump in there.
Keep
There
in
it
mind at
is.
the bottom of the hour,
Boom.
also expecting
Straight
possible comments from Fed's Barkin, who's going to be speaking
Oh,
at
we
the
got Fed-
Charlotte
Fed
Regional
chirps
Business
coming out here.
Alliance 2024 Economic Outlook event.
That's in an hour.
With
This is another
regards
one where
to
you
Fed's
got
Barkin,
dual
no
levels.
text or Q&A or live stream
Gex
is
1
expected
and
for
blind
this
spot.
event.
That's their
He's also
proprietary. This
expected
was
to repeat
ES.
remarks that
So
he
this
has
was, I
made
think it was
previously
Friday.
as well. But
And this
nonetheless,
one,
just keep in
you
mind
got
that,
in, and
that
then
it
some
is
of my rooms
also
like, well, I'm going to wait for
expected to
retest. I
either be
said,
at
well,
11:30 a.m. Eastern Time or 12:15
one, it's multiple levels.
p.m.
There's sell
Eastern
stops,
Time,
and you jump in right
depending
away.
on
You
the
got
source.
instant profit. And I said it might not come back because another you can use. So this is using spot gamma and monthly Q. The hero was ripping. There's that billion we talked about. So it was minus 3.4 billion, and it ripped a billion. I said this might not come back, and it did not come back. So if you took that sexy gexy, you had a very, very nice trade that day. This was, I think, Friday. Well, it says right here, November 27th. What's the date? Yeah, I think that was last Friday. Friday before. There's another one. This is another ES. Came down, sell stops right into the gex level, right there. Take it right away. You get your first move out. You could have got out of some there. Came back, held, and then now you get your reversion trade. So this is the other trade that we've been taking. These are back in blacks. So these are reversion trades where we're playing. There's something for everyone here. We got your R traders. Someone just put it in my room yesterday. Here, I'll let you read it because I like when people say nice things. This was. And he's exactly right. There's something for everyone. Like if you're a scalper mentality. Let's see. You know, I point them out when I see them too. You guys, I'm trading as well, but when I see them, I'll post a screenshot, and this is what I want everyone doing. Here's a back in black. Someone caught it. And if you play this music while you're waiting for the back in black, I haven't shown you yet. It's almost 100% winner every time. You got to play the music though. Just kidding. It is fun to listen to though as they're working. Here's another sexy gexy, put in there. There's a slug, so these are all trading strategies. I'm trying to find, I thought it was yesterday morning. There we go. This is Andrew Foe. He was doing a euro. He's trading the A plus ATRs. That's just another strategy. And then he said, not sure what more edge we could ask for. He said, thanks, Scott, thank you. And then he said something in the morning, which was very, very accurate. I can't find it. Let's see. All right. Here we go. The trade for all you R traders. Actually, there's true because smaller accounts, especially, that's not where. Here we go. I heard, we were talking about, because I talked about the art, it's a grade for art traders that can't stand waiting for the ATR out, want to get in right when you get their event. So now there are 3 trades for each risk tolerance type of trader, right? So we have the position traders, that's where you wait for the traditional ATR out of the zone. We've got the reversion trade, which is a scalp, more of a scalp, right? Where you're playing when the market moves away from these events. This is a different variation where you're waiting for it to bounce off something and then you take the reversions coming back. This one was the 3, the 2, the 1, money sign, right back to the zone. Then we have the R trader trade, and that's the sexy gexy trades where you jump in right where you hear the event. So there's something for every type of trader with these events, right, that I teach. So that's
shortly expecting the results of the 4-week bill auction, as well as possible comments from Fed's market.
So there's really nothing happening here. Just quickly, this is everything that I've been talking about. Here's a drawing tool. I can't live without this thing, and it just saves so much time than having to draw manually, but I do go over how to draw it manually in my course. Segue into that. Here's the course. This is if you can't get in the room, you can get the spreadsheet. This is the zone drawing tool. This is just this spreadsheet where you can plug in the values and then do it manually. If you don't want the zone drawing tool, I don't know why you would want that, but here's my website. Email if you have questions. Here's my Twitter. I post trades of the day. I haven't done it recently, but I'm going to start back again. Trade room if you want to join the trade room. This is all the stuff I use. There's the Bookmap. Take advantage of their sale. I posted that earlier. It ends, I think it said today, or one of them's today or in the next 48 hours, and then they got one to the 12th for the other stuff. This is the MBO bundle stuff. This is where you get the SI indicator and then on chart and the market pulse. I showed you that price change algo. It's pretty incredible stuff. Here's Apex. Hey guys, this is the godsend to have these things. I know there's a ton of them now. This is the one that I use, put my name behind. This is a way for you to practice what I'm showing you. It's a way for you to get funded where you're not risking your own money. If you're trading your own money and paying your rent with it, or mortgage or car, it's a whole different story, and you don't react the same way if you're afraid to lose. If you're afraid to lose, you're gonna lose. Trading, gambling, whatever it is, if you are afraid, or just walking out of the house. If you're afraid you're going to get in a car accident and you're driving like you're afraid you're going to get in a car accident, you're going to get in a car accident. So the point is, if you have something like this to back you, it's a godsend, right? So, and use Pulcini 50 for any of the discounts that they got going on. Here's the Mentor Q stuff. I put these in earlier. Go to his website. That's the newest thing and why I like it. I still love Spot Gamma, and it's pretty much the same stuff for these two, but Mentor Q has all these other. It's got gold and natural gas and weed and crude. That I want to see these other markets. Spot Gamma says they're going to do them eventually. They just haven't. They've been swamped with everything else they're doing. Tick Strike. That's this. What I've been using. I've been using this for about 15 years now. Gets really annoying when it's going against you and you have to listen to your trade and watch it go against you, but I can't live without this. It lets me know if other stuff's firing off, right, without having to see it. And then Trader Sync to keep track of your trades. Ludwig levels, the second most powerful thing I've ever seen. These are even stronger than the options levels, I believe, the red and the blue anyway. Go to our site, join the 3-day trial, and say you saw them on the Bookmap webinar, and then these are my reviews, Trustpilot. So, like I said, I do this every day. Kind of a dead day so far. It's been pretty dead lately, but again, you have pockets. I got this nice gold trade earlier, and I'm still going to put on this short, by the way, and I'm putting it on double sizes. I already have this working. We already went over this trade, but keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out what happens in crude here. The move out of here is probably going to lead to a big move, and it's already happening. Right? There hasn't been an event yet, but I will be trading triple size shorts if I get an event. I don't do anything. You could say this is good enough for me. Great, I need an event, but this is not looking healthy for crude. Free gas for everybody. All right, guys. Thank you for attending, and I will see you guys next